Welcome to the Cox Inspirational Student Heroes Award celebration. You're going to meet some outstanding local students who have overcome great challenges in their lives to achieve greater success in the classroom. Get ready to meet this year's Cox Inspirational Student Heroes.
Good afternoon. What beautiful faces. I tell you, I have been with Cox Communications now for 21 years, starting out in New Orleans. And we started this program back then, so it's really an honor and a pleasure in taking on Florida and Georgia to be able to bring it here to the Florida market. I'm very, very proud to stand before you to start a program that really recognizes extraordinary individuals who are just at the beginning of their life and will do even more extraordinary things. It's just one of those opportunities, I think, for the adults in the room to just stop and reflect and know that there are greater things to happen for just a moment in time and where we're going from here. So glad you're here. We're going to, we're proud to recognize these students today. They've overcome incredible obstacles in their lives to be here to recognize their schools and their peers as heroes. Some of them have lost their parents. Others are dealing with life-threatening illnesses. Others have soared beyond personal challenges to succeed academically. All of them have one thing in common. They are truly inspirational, and we are humbled to be in their presence. To date, Cox has recognized more than 3,000 student heroes from Lafayette, Louisiana to Fort Walton Beach, Florida. We're excited to add 48 more names today to this distinguished list this afternoon. We are honored today to have many special guests in our presence to help us recognize our Cox heroes. Among them is U.S. Congressman Jeff Miller, who represents Florida's 1st District. Jeff, just raise your hand. Everybody knows you, but just go ahead. And I just met Jeff for a moment, and I can tell you that I am a pretty good read and a pretty good judge of character. And just to look in his eyes, he's got the essence of a very humbled, incredible human being. And this is a moment's notice. Now, I don't know what he's going to do in the next few years, but I'm looking forward to seeing all the best things, the great things that he will do. Thank you for being here. We're so honored to have you. He serves on the House Armed Services Committee, the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Did you guys hear that? That's a mouthful. The House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, and is chairman of the Committee on Veterans Affairs. He has championed numerous tax relief and veterans measures and fought for less government, less taxes, and more personal freedom. Absolutely, I think. Congressman Miller and his wife Vicki have 2 children and 3 grandchildren. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I give you Congressman Jeff Miller.
Thank you so much for the kind introduction, and I am so honored. There's a train coming through here. I just heard it. I am so honored to be here among these inspirational heroes, and to the parents and the grandparents and the guardians and the aunts and the uncles and all of the supporters. I say thank you for helping your student be selected as one of the Cox Inspirational Heroes. But what I want to do is I want to just say to those of you that are getting an award today, know this: every one of you is a gift. A gift. And let me tell you, when you get to where you're feeling down and lonely and nobody loves you, know that people do. People all around you do. But I don't want anything to hold any one of you back from being able to be the person that you are And I want to invite each one of you to come to my office in Washington and come see me if you ever get an opportunity, because I would like to show you your nation's capital and introduce you to the people that represent you in Washington, D.C. But I think the most important thing for us to remember here this afternoon is that, as I started off with, you are each a gift from God.
So we're going to get out of your way and start the program. But before we do, I just want to take a point of personal privilege and just say thank you to all of these blue shirts, these folks that are wearing blue shirts around the room, and the cameramen, and they're all from Cox. And we represent the folks that are standing here who do all hard work. These are folks who answer the telephone when you call. These are folks that are installing in your home when you get our services. And the energy that they put into this program is the same energy they put into servicing you every day. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to them for what they do. With that, I'm going to bring Kristen Taylor up, who is going to start our program.
Thank you, Jackie, and thank you, Mr. Miller. And again, I also want to say thank you to all the Cox ambassadors that are helping with us today. You've helped me retain my sanity for planning this event, and I really appreciate it. Another terrific supporter of the Cox Heroes program is Escambia County Superintendent of Schools, Malcolm Thomas, and we'd like to invite Mr. Thomas to the podium now to say a few words.
Thank you. It's not just the superintendent. The school board also supports this program. We've supported it for many years. And to show their support, I mean, you'll notice in a minute when they introduce them, we have almost every school board member. The only school board member that's not here is actually out of town. Otherwise, you would have all 5 sitting school board members. I think that speaks to the dedication and the commitment that the school district has for this project. We know the adversity that many of these students have to face each and every day. I appreciate the love of the parents, the support of the teachers. Earlier this morning, I looked in the dictionary for the word hero. What I was interested to see is not the words they would use to describe hero, but how many definitions does Webster pick out to describe hero? And there's only 3. But in a few minutes, if you'll listen carefully, you're going to hear 48 different definitions of the word hero. You are our heroes today.
Hey, I want to introduce you to Bellevue Elementary's Cox Hero. This is Jillian Buckley. I better put my glasses on so I can see, however. Jillian is an outstanding child who faces adversity all too often. She has had some challenging times at home due to her shuffling back and forth from parents to grandparents. Jillian has lived with her loving grandparents for quite some time and now has been given the option to go back and forth between parents and grandparents. For a young child, this decision has been extremely difficult to face on a daily basis. Jillian helps care for her brothers as well. She always puts her schoolwork first, but struggles with getting everything completed. Jillian is a perfectionist. Jillian is the type of person who wears her heart on her sleeve and would never want to hurt anyone in the process. Through these tough times, Jillian never fails to be the brightest ray of sunshine in her classroom. She lights up the room when she walks in with her bubbly personality. She is a student who wants to help every other child. It doesn't matter if they are struggling, unorganized, or just misbehaving. Jillian always tries to show them the right path to take. Jillian has also just recently gotten into the PATS program this past February. Jillian is a star. She is an inspiring person who can persevere through any obstacle that she faces. I'm sure that Jillian would be a hero to many people through her lifetime. She is one of a kind. Jillian Buckley.
This is Jezebel LeClaire. Her classmates, teachers call her Jezzy. Jezzy has overcome significant family circumstances. She has persevered academically to achieve honor roll status at Bellevue Middle School, and she also is a delight to have in the classroom. Her teachers brag on her all the time. She's anxious to help teammates with any help that they might have. She is just extremely friendly, happy, as you can tell. Just a ray of sunshine. See, look at that, get her to smile, and she shows that. She shows that every day to her teachers and to her classmates, and also achieves very highly academically at the same time. I give you Jezebel LeClaire.
This is Dylan, and when I found out that Dylan was going to be in my class this year, I was told, "Oh, Miss White, you get to have Dylan Verassi." And they said, "Don't worry, he's going to keep you straight," and Dylan does. He keeps me straight and everybody else. Dylan may look like a normal 5th grader at Beulah Elementary, but he is far from the norm. He is the most kind-hearted, caring, sincere, genuine, hardworking people pleaser I have ever met, out of adults included. Dylan deals with autism on a daily basis. He has an incredible positive outlook on life, and he sees the best in everyone, and even looks after his fellow classmates as a wildcat watcher at our school. He makes sure that everyone is being safe in the hallways and doing what they're supposed to do, keeping us all straight. Dylan also continues to make A's, B's, and C's in the general classroom this year. Though he deals with some anxiety problems, he gets that under control and just succeeds every day. Dylan is a caring young man who makes our classroom a place where everyone feels friendship and feels love. He makes it a great place to be, and I'm so glad that he has been in my class this year. So, Dylan.
As you can see, Lachlan is very eager to be here today. He is our representative from Blue Angels Elementary, and I'm new to Blue Angels this year, and at the beginning of the year, everyone kept telling me, "Oh, Lachlan, he is amazing. You're so lucky to have him in your class," and it's just amazing how much he's grown since he's been there since kindergarten. And I talked to some of his teachers from previous years who told me that in kindergarten he didn't like to be at school as much as he does now. Now he comes every day, he's eager to learn, but that it was a real struggle, and they are just amazed by how much he's grown, and even I am so proud of how much he's improved throughout the whole year. I know writing was one thing that he struggled with at the beginning of the year, but I've just seen him work so hard. He never gives up, and he is really one of the best students I have in my general ed classroom. And every day he comes to school with his signature thumbs up, so let's give everyone a thumbs up. And he really has a bright attitude that has really made our classroom a better place, and the Blue Angels community is so lucky to have him.
Congratulations, Brandon Berry. You are our Bratt Elementary's hero. Brandon is a 5th grade student at Bratt Elementary, where he is an inspiration to other students and to me. He proves that adversity can be overcome with hard work and support from others. Life is not always easy for Brandon. Sometimes he does not understand the situation at hand due to his language difficulty. Although Brandon faces challenges in his everyday life, he does not give up. Brandon loves to tell stories and has developed friendships with teachers and students through sharing stories of things he enjoys. Most of his stories involve his family, and he is very dedicated to them. This is a huge accomplishment since Brandon had difficulty with conversation when he first began school. Brandon is always looking for ways to help others who are in need. He tries his best to be a good friend and a good citizen. He has no problem telling others they should make better choices, and he does that a lot. But it's good. Here is a quote from one of Brandon's past math teachers. "It was always so wonderful to see Brandon get it. He was truly happy to understand how to work a math problem. When he got the answer correct, he displayed a smile from ear to ear," and I love those smiles. A lot of his success was due to the fact that he did his homework every night, every problem. He was responsible to take it home, and his parents saw that it got done. Every night, every problem. Brandon's sister stated, "Brandon always thinks about other people. He always remembers their birthday." And I currently am his teacher, and I would just like to add to this that I'm honored to have him in my class because he truly is, he just truly is a gift from God, and I just truly enjoy having him, and I'm going to really miss him after he moves on to Ernest Ward Middle School. But he won't give up, I'm sure, and he just loves, I wanted to add that he just loves kickball and sports, and he never argues or, worries about who's winning. He's just, he's having fun, and he just loves it. So I just want to tell you again, Brandon, congratulations for being our brat hero.
Hi everyone, I'm Angie Harris. I'm in charge of the iCare program. The iCare program is an alternative education program for students with some behavior difficulties. And Charles could not be with us today, but I wanted to say some really kind words about Charles Bryant. He entered the iCare program because of some academic and behavioral issues, and he has come a very long way to the point of being recognized today for his awesome behavior. At the beginning of the year, he had some academic struggles, and now he is at the top of his class in math. He has transitioned into a regular gen ed classroom at Brentwood Elementary. So he's making top of the class grades in math and an A+ in citizenship. He will be exiting the iCare program. We are incredibly proud of Charles. I wish he could be here with you today so that you could honor him. But please think about him. I want to thank the Escambia County School District for supporting the iCare program. Obviously, for having Charles come up here, you can see what great progress we are making. I want to thank Angela Amos, his classroom teacher, for all of her hard work and dedication, because without teachers like Angela, Charles would not be making the progress that he is. And Ms. Seals is back here, and she is his general education teacher, as well as Ms. Sellier. They also deserve credit for taking Charles into their classroom and providing him the best education possible. So on behalf of Brentwood Elementary, we want to thank and honor Charles. So thank you.
It is Jerry's positive attitude that makes him stand out at Brown Barge Middle School. He is an excellent basketball and soccer player, and he is always willing to help all of his peers, especially when it comes to math. I present to you Gerald Seal, Brown Barge's Cox hero.
This beautiful young lady to my left is well deserving of this award. When my teachers and I met to decide who would be the recipient, her name came up first. There was no other choice. We knew that she was our inspirational hero. Known Caitlin since she was very tiny. And she has just grown into a beautiful young lady, caring so much for others, for her family, for her teachers, and everybody is so proud. She has worked very hard to overcome academic challenges, and as you can see in the brochure, she certainly has with a 3.2 grade point average. We're very proud of her, and I bet it's even going to be higher at the end of the year because she has done remarkably well in FAIR testing and math testing, and she just shines all over. So I'm so very proud that our charter school has desired and wanted to award her in some way, and this is the very best way we could. Thank you, everyone.
Well, it's my honor to recognize Skylar Ford, SCAY's Elementary School's Inspirational Student, and you can see why we've chosen her. She beams. This is what we see in the hallway every day. Although she has moved from one location to another and had some struggles, that she has adapted very well. She has a very positive attitude and a beautiful smile. She has helped in our 3rd grade as a tutor. She is a very good inspiration to her students, her peers in 4th grade. She makes good decisions and she's a good leader, and I think we'll see her name again soon as she progresses through the grades. So, Skylar Ford.
I'd like to introduce you to Jalon Cunningham. Jalon has had to overcome barriers that would be difficult for many adults, even though she's only 11 years old. She's had to deal with the death of her father and her own health concerns. Her father's death was very difficult on her and affected her socially, emotionally, and academically. But she's overcome everything. She was a loner who struggled with fitting in, but this year Jalon is one of the classmates that everyone wants to be in a group with. They want her for the science fair project. They want to play with her at recess. She fits in. She's a confident young lady now. She's well liked by her peers, and she is showing great success academically. I've watched her grow from a shy girl who was unsure of where she fit in and rarely smiled to a leader in our classroom who participates with confidence. Jalon's smile is contagious and she wears it often. She's also willing to help her classmates and is so patient with everyone. She's really an inspiration to me, and she's Cordova Park Elementary's Inspirational Hero.
Good afternoon. It is such an honor to represent and to introduce to you my lovely friend Rodrika. She came to us in kindergarten, started off in kindergarten, very shy, very fearful young lady, just would be paralyzed by any change. I always knew when there was a sub in her room because when I would look up in my office, she would be around the corner looking at me, waving and crying. So that meant, please rescue me. So I would have to go and say, Rodrigo, we're going to work on this, but we end up, I'd put her in another teacher's class until we learned to work through this. So eventually she did, and did a very good job doing so. She's loved so much by the students. They protect her. They've always watched over her in all her grade levels. She comes to me on a regular basis as a counselor. I'm kind of like her mentor. And so I said, Rodrika, the way to get over the fear is we're going to learn to face it. So what we do is talk about how to feel good about who you are. So she wears a tiara, and we just strut around the school telling people how important we are, how lovely we are, and we are beautiful, and we can do anything and all things. So so we go to the office, and I've already warned everybody, make a big deal when you do this, but she does a great job. Now, I am so proud to say that she is such a helper to everyone now. She is encouraging to others. She participates in classroom discussions. She helps other students if they're in need. She will go to the teacher if she detects that something is wrong with someone to seek help and guidance. So we're very proud of that. And as you look at her, she may appear to be really shy, but don't let this cute face fool you. She is really opened up and doing great, and we're so proud of her. Thank you.
I would like to say a little bit. I'm not going to read about her, but Daisha came to me in 6th grade, and after moving from home to home for her biological parents being incarcerated. At that point, Daisha unfortunately was removed from school due to drug possession. Her guardian, which was 22 years old at that time, chose not to put her in alternative school but homeschool her. Shortly after, Daisha was molested by her guardian's boyfriend and became pregnant. Daisha finally went to live with Christy and Jonathan Kite, who she calls her parents. And at that point, Daisha entered this year, 2012, as a second semester 6th grader. I have never had a student work so hard. She went into Compass and she did every single assignment and has done 2.5 years in 1 year.
Baby, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Look at
it. Little emotional, but at this honor I can say this young lady is truly a gift from God and a hero. Not only that, but she is an awesome leader at school and she is a wonderful mother. Congratulations, Daisha. I love you.
As Andrea is coming up, I just want to go ahead and read what I was given to read. Andrea Overton wants to accomplish everything. She may have physical limitations, but her mind is strong and her education is very important to her. Andrea believes that it's better to face the future with full steam ahead and with optimism than to let an opportunity go by. Her personal motivation comes from her believing that there is no excuses for failure. She shares her strength and her ties to inspirations with others. A review of her school history shows that she has a 3.2 GPA. She's going to graduate in the top 50% of her class. Her immediate goal after high school is to attend Pensacola State, where she hopes to study social work and to help children, or to become a kindergarten teacher. She is a positive young lady and an inspiration to her classmates and her faculties. And on a personal note, she has been a real good friend to me. We have divine moments where I'll be walking down the hallway and she's scooting somewhere, and I'll grab her wheelchair and I'll just walk her up a ramp, or I'll walk her and we'll talk. And every time I walk away from an encounter with Miss Andrea, I walk away a better person, because she's that much of an inspiration to me. So I want to introduce to you Escambia High School's inspirational hero, Andrea Overton.
I just grew my hair out. I'm Kathy Ray, Assistant Principal of Ferry Pass Elementary, and I am so proud to present Nicholas Crowley, our hero. Nicholas has been with us at Ferry Pass since first grade. He has always been an inspiration to his teachers, to the other students. But earlier this year, Nicholas suffered a tragedy. He lost his dear mother. He has never wavered in his positive attitude and his inspiration to all. He continues to be a quiet leader for his students, for his other students, and for the teachers. We're so proud of Nicholas and all that he's accomplished, and we are so proud to present Nicholas as our Cox Hero of the Year.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is a privilege and an honor for me to present the Cox Hero for Fair Pass Middle School, Janasia Worley. Janasia is a very bright, persevering young lady. She was suffering through periods of physical and sexual abuse, and it was hard for her to come forward and report that abuse, but she did so. And one of the hardest things for her was it was someone that was close to her family. But Janasia told us that even though she went through those periods of abuse, she said the one thing that she had to find in her heart was a spirit of forgiveness. She said in order for her to move on, she had to forgive the person that did those things to her. She said because that helps her to be a better person, and so that she can educate other people on the problems of abuse. In spite of all that, Janasia has still maintained the AB honor roll. She does not take her education for granted, and she's always telling her peers how important it is to obtain an education. We are proud to have her as Fair Pass Middle School's Student Cox Hero for this year.
Everybody. I'm not much of a speaker, but I'm very proud of my daughter here. She had some rough times at the very start of the school year. I am a single parent, and her mother has been out of the family for quite some time. But she's the only one in her school to be presented this award, and I am very proud of her.
Hi everyone. I have the honor and privilege of introducing to you Maximilian High, affectionately known as Max. Max is truly an inspiration. In fact, when I was talking with the students today and I was letting them know that this was happening tonight, this is just an exciting night for Max, they said, please make sure that you tell everybody that Max is not just a hero, he is a superhero. So I said, I will. Every morning that Max comes into the classroom, it is just unbelievable. He comes in with a huge smile on his face, and when he comes in, we all just, oh, Max is here, Max is here. He brightens the whole room when he comes in. His attitude is unbelievable. He never gives up. He's so great at giving directions, and I try to be really good at following his directions. And you want to talk too, don't you? I know, the microphone is too high. I don't know if we can do that. Max, you know what? It's stuck on top, so can I talk for you for just a second? And I'll tell them all of the great things about you. I can talk. Okay, he wants to talk. Max is very verbal. He's always telling us he's going to grow up to be a firefighter one day, right, Max? Yeah. Oh, he doesn't know really what yet. We do talk about firefighters from time to time. So he uses a program in the classroom called Eye Gaze through the computer, and that is how he controls the mouse and the cursor through the use of his eyes. So it is truly amazing every day to watch that kind of technology in the classroom, and Max is self-sufficient with it. In fact, so much so that if I am down with him, it registers my eyes and he'll say, "You need to move." So he's, like I said, he's an inspiration. We are so blessed, so thankful every single day. And you need to talk, I know. Oh, well, I am so proud of Max and so excited for him for this night. And every day, like I said, he's just a true inspiration to us all.
Well, I have the honor of presenting Miss Juliana Schwartz from Home Elementary. Juliana is deaf, and her teacher, Mrs. Hemme, is going to be presenting the information to her to make sure that she's aware of what's going on. It is a pleasure. She's one of our star students in the class. It is a pleasure to introduce her. She's a leader at Home Elementary, where she is in the deaf, hard of hearing class. Despite being deaf and having numerous health issues, she works very hard, keeps on task, and if you can look at her, blesses us with her smile. She's very shy too. Juliana has had to overcome many obstacles in her short life, including multiple heart surgeries. However, once she realized that there was a reason to learn, she took off. Juliana can now use regular scissors, trace her numbers and letters and signs, and I'm still trying to learn. I go down to that class every day to learn something new. She can sign the Pledge of Allegiance, and she does that every morning. Her classmates even sign it with her. Now, Juliana's fortitude and perseverance are an inspiration to all those around her. And I would like to present to you our diva, Juliana Schwartz.
I am honored to present Valedia Salazar from Workman Middle School. The first time I met Valedia, she said, "My name is Valedia. I am from Ecuador. I like to talk and make friends." And that is exactly what she has done. She always has a smile on her face. I'm going to read what we wrote about her because I don't want to leave anything out. Prior to starting the 7th grade at Workman Middle School, Valedia Salazar left Ecuador to start a new life in Pensacola with her mother, sister, and American stepfather. Originally enrolled in ESOL, which stands for English Speakers of Other Languages, Valedia quickly tested out of those classes and was able to pass the 2012 FCAT after only 7 months. Valedia is very social and always has a smile on her face and a kind word for her peers and teachers. Her determination and motivation to be the best she can be is very inspirational to everyone she is around. Valedia is in the poetry club at Workman and uses her words to help others get along and be friends. She hopes to one day open her own daycare where she can teach the children English and Spanish. Valedia realizes the support she's received and wants to pass it on to those around her. My partner, Leslie Kiuch, and I, the other ESOL teacher, and Miss Ursary, our assistant principal, have really enjoyed every minute with Valedia. We love her so very much, as do all of her teachers.
She is very bright, and we cannot wait to see what the future holds for her. We love her very much. I present to you Valeria Salazar.
First of all, I want to say congratulations to everybody. All of you are heroes, and I don't think that anybody in this room, it's not the individuals that sit here to see what we do, but everybody in here, when we go out, people normally don't ask us why we do what we do, and this is the reason why we do what we do. So appreciate all your efforts, and congratulations again to everybody. Tate High School presents Logan 30 Acre, and I asked him earlier, we had a moment in my office, and he said I could share some of these things with you. Mr. and Ms. Grant, thank you for letting your son be a Tate Aggie. Thank you very much. You know, Logan suffers from SMA, and he traveled all the way down to Shands Hospital, and they wouldn't do the surgery. They couldn't find anybody to do the surgery to help this young man. So as they went on and went through the process, they found somebody here in Pensacola that has never done the surgery before. The young man endured over a 10-hour surgery. A 10-hour surgery, comes back to school, great attendance, over a 3.0, industry certification in the Multimedia Academy, industry certification in the Gaming Academy. When I called him in and I was talking to him, I said, Logan, we all have opportunities. We all have challenges. That's not why you're Tate High School's hero. And of course he looked at me and I said, Logan, you're a hero not because of what you accomplished, but how you accomplish it. Because it's not only his leadership and what he does on campus, he's more interested in serving others, helping others. As he goes through the Multimedia Academy, as there are tough days that he endures, there's always a smile on his face, inspiration in his heart, and a desire to help others. So Logan 30 Acre, Tate High School loves you, son. I love you. I'm proud of you. Congratulations.
Hi. Dawn is a kind and spunky, or we like to say sassy, young lady. She shows great responsibility in her schoolwork. Dawn is one of the hardest working students I have ever met. She exemplifies perseverance, never giving up. Her tenacity and strength of spirit enable her to reach her goals. She never makes excuses. Dawn has overcome physical and personal obstacles to grow into a beautiful young lady inside and out. I give you Dawn Huddle.
This is so exciting. Just look out and hear all these stories. It's just fabulous. Thank you, everyone, for doing what you do. It is my overwhelming honor and privilege to present Jim C. Bailey's Cox Inspirational Hero to you. In 6th grade, Victoria Sechrist, no A, in Sechrist, Victoria Sechrist hardly spoke a word. We didn't know, she was so quiet, and all the teachers thought she is so smart and so quiet, and she does well with everybody, and she's happy and she smiles. What her 6th grade teachers hardly know now that she's in 8th grade, nor did her 7th grade teachers know, that Victoria battles a host of autoimmune diseases. Her body fights against her. This beautiful young lady, smart, kind, loving, doesn't tell anybody what she has. I've been her counselor 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And I can tell you the reason I know that she has lots of challenges is the guidance suite is in the same area as the clinic. And I have an open door policy, except, and I can see Victoria beating a path to the clinic, cheerful, happy, doing what she needs to do all the time, going right back to class. I don't have to worry about her getting back to class. She's always there. She is an inspiration to her friends. She is an inspiration to her parents, especially to her grandmother, Miss Janet Kent. Mom and grandmother, while Dad was overseas and unavailable, they monitor her health through the night. And it's necessary for her to have that monitoring. And I don't want to embarrass her. She doesn't tell people about this. It's invisible. It reminds me of that quote that maybe you've heard, and it reminds me of Victoria. Be kind, for everyone we meet is fighting a hard battle. Victoria would like to tell her own story to you, and I present to you Bailey's Inspirational Cox Hero, Victoria Seacrest.
Hi. Well, I have basically type 1 diabetes, Addison's disease, Hashimoto's syndrome, and autoimmune disorder. For those of you who don't know what Addison's disease, which is probably most of you, it's where I don't secrete stress enzymes. So it's like a battle in my body to walk or something. Well, I want to thank my mom because she's basically my taxi driver. She drives me everywhere, from doctor's appointments to labs to get my medication, everything that I basically need. And my dad, who is working in Texas now, foregoing and just staying over there making enough money to afford my medications. And my grandma, who keeps me from doing things I shouldn't, like eating too much ice cream or apples. So basically we're here to say how we deal with our problems and how we aren't like shy and insecure most of the time. Well, I'm really not alone. I have my family, my school, my friends, basically everyone who can here with me to help me. And it's just, you're not alone. There's actually people there.
Leilani Pooley is truly Lincoln Park Elementary School's hero. Leilani came to Lincoln Park as a pre-K student, and everyone at our school immediately fell in love with her smile, her care and concern for other people, and her absolute love for learning. In fact, her pre-K teacher, Ms. Deborah Smart's here with me this afternoon, and she can attest to the fact that we could hardly put enough challenging academic work in front of Leilani. So, Leilani decided that she would start looking for her own personal challenges and look for reasons to come up to the front office and help me run the school. It was through that relationship that we became very close. And you can understand my personal admiration for Leilani this year, her kindergarten year, as she has overcome 2nd and 3rd degree burns in a matter of weeks, rather than the months that doctors expected. Our students admire and respect Leilani, and they stayed in constant contact with her during her hospitalization. And our faculty and staff did as well. In fact, there was one afternoon that we all gathered in the media center at Leilani's request, and we got on speakerphone with Leilani. She wanted to hear from all of us that we were okay, and she wanted to know what we were teaching the students while she was away. So we satisfied her with what we had going on at the school that afternoon, and amazingly enough to us, on February 11th, Leilani came walking back into our lives and walked back into Lincoln Park Elementary School. She was walking very slowly, and she was extensively bandaged. But Leilani showed us how we could hug her. She showed us how we should handle the bandages, and she told us that it was time that she returned back to class. I asked Leilani, when did she want to get started back in school? And she told me she was starting right that minute. Called Miss Oates and let her know she was on her way back to class. Leilani has truly been an inspiration to us at Lincoln Park Elementary School. And ladies and gentlemen, that is her story. Leilani Pooley, Lincoln Park's leading lady.
Good afternoon. This is Miss Trinity Morris. This is kind of difficult for her. Trinity, here, you need to come over here. Trinity's had a pretty tough childhood. Her mother was diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 2 years old, and she watched her mom struggle with the illness her whole life, and tragically her mom lost the battle this January. But through it all, sorry, hard for me. Trinity has maintained her composure, her positive attitude. She is such an inspiration to my classroom. Sorry. Her classmates were pretty upset that they couldn't be here tonight, but they wanted me to let everybody know that she came to school regardless. After the funeral, she was back the next day. She couldn't wait to come back to school, which blew us all away. She is so sporty. She gives those boys on the basketball court a run for their money every day at recess. She is incredibly intelligent, kind to everyone, never gives up, beautiful, has a great sense of humor, and helps other people when they're feeling down. And she has truly taught my classroom what thankfulness is. And also, I just must say that she has overcome a lot of academic struggles. She started out this year at a second grade reading level in the 4th grade, and she just tested out at a 6.3, which is 6th grade reading level. We are so blessed to have Trinity at Longleaf Elementary.
Good evening. I want to present to you MacArthur's Cox Inspirational Award winner, Kayla Kelly. First of all, doesn't she look awesome? She survived a day with a substitute today, and she came out. I'm encouraged. I was at a district training all day, and I left a video message for my class that they needed to behave, stay on task. They had work to do, I had work to do, and I didn't even get recess. So they had better do a good job. But Kayla's in my homeroom, and good student, good academic student, works hard, and it's August and September, and it's October, and then October our grades are falling apart, and we don't seem to be, just right there, right sharp, and we go through Thanksgiving, and as December coming, I'm like, Kayla, what is, as a teacher, like, what's wrong with you? What is going on? What is going on? Mom, we're having conferences. I think we had 3 conferences. And so we go on Christmas vacation, and then I get this email from Mom. Kayla's been diagnosed with leukemia over Christmas break, and that she was in the hospital. And I immediately had to repent. I felt horrible, because now we knew why she was struggling so hard. And her blood count, her white blood count, was so high that Sacred Heart Hospital had never had a patient in there with a blood count that high before. So we all took turns visiting her in the hospital. You were in the hospital, I believe, for over 3 weeks. I believe it was 3 weeks. And we went over there, and I'm walking down the hall in Sacred Heart Hospital. How can it's 3 weeks? That's a long time in the hospital. I know how I'd be in 3 weeks. How can I lift her spirits? Walked into the hospital room. That room was decorated with links of love, is what we're calling them, around and around and around. Every person that came to visit her, she got links, she's got colors. One of the words I would describe Kayla is colorful. This child's artistic, likes to color. Everybody had the links, and so we talked, and we would draw the links. I saw Dr. Vaughn's links up there and all the other teachers that had visited her. And it was the coolest, comforting thing. I went in there trying to figure out how I was going to lift her up, and I walked out of there and I thought, that was an amazing experience for that. And then as I was talking with Mom, and she's in the cancer, the oncology unit up at Sacred Heart, and noticing that, Kayla is very well loved. Lots of visitors come to see her. We noticed that there was some children that people never came to see in the oncology ward, and Kayla picked up on that too, and she wrote a card to every child that was in there to make sure that they knew that somebody was thinking about them while they were going through a very hard time. Kayla's come back to school. She has struggles. She has a new normal, right? We have a new normal. Some days we get frustrated with that new normal, but as each day goes on, we're learning to work on it. Grades come backing up. Still colorful. I let her draw. I know, even while I'm teaching, I let her draw because she's busy and she stays on task and things like that. So very proud of her. She's going to be a doctor when she's able to do that, and she's going to help solve some of the medical issues that she's facing right now. I present to you Kayla Kelly.
Wow, what an honor to be in a room with such amazing individuals. It's comforting to know that my geriatric care lies in the hands of such incredible people, right? Congressman Miller can't keep his seat forever. Some of you will be waiting in line for that. I know it. I am elated to introduce to you my hero, Larry Alley. Larry's a 4th grader at Molino Park Elementary. As a very young child, Larry suffered from a disorder called strabismus, where your eyes cannot simultaneously align, causing double vision. This, combined with some personal struggles in Larry's home life, created what we might call the perfect storm. Larry, discouraged, began a downward spiral both academically and behaviorally. In the 3rd grade, midway, Larry transferred to our school at Molino, and that fresh start proved to be the catalyst to move him to an amazing turnaround. The immediate flow of blood, sweat, and happy tears was the current that moved him to where he is today. Yes, he had an amazing team of educators to come alongside him, but it was Larry's willingness to do whatever it takes, no matter what, that was the fuel to ignite this explosion. In just the past 9 months, I have marveled at how he has escalated, especially in his reading skills, far beyond his grade level, by the way, a behavior that any teacher would be proud of. Today, he attends a self-contained enrichment class, participates in the Gifted program. He reads alongside his classmates at a 5th grade level. His attitude is much like the sunset, a brilliant light that reflects on the clouds of the past, forming a most compelling masterpiece. Stating that Larry has been an inspiration to those around him would be like throwing a bullet as opposed to shooting one. That word, inspiration, seems so inadequate to describe his interaction with his classmates on a daily basis. And because this is an Inspirational Student Award, I thought I would share with you some quotes, Larry, from your classmates that prove to you what an inspiration he truly is. Kids know kids, and they are extremely intuitive about one another. It was no secret that Larry had struggles and that he entered our class light years beyond everyone else's skill level. But his openness to discuss his challenges and his striking display of hard work has been not only a benefit to him, but to every child in my class. Here are some quotes from children that, Larry, your journey in life has already affected. Larry has inspired me to have faith in the Lord for everything because that's what he did. Larry makes me never want to give up. If I don't let problems bother me, they won't bother anybody else either. By sharing his challenges with our class, he has showed us the meaning of fortitude. Because of Larry, I want to read more books. He is an inspiration to me to work harder. When I hear the word courage and fortitude, I think of Larry. I watched tears fill the eyes of these children as they shared about how you have affected their lives. Their sincerity and their willingness to express what they feel was just what this teacher needed to hear in order to press on with excellence in my mission to transform the lives of children. And it was all because of Larry Alley.
Hello, it is truly an honor for me to present Montclair Elementary's Cox Hero, Destiny Brown. Destiny Brown is a loving daughter and older sister, a caring friend, and exceptional student. She has maintained an AB average in all subject areas while helping her father care for her 5 younger siblings during her mother's absence. Destiny excels in reading and math and is a talented writer, scoring high levels on the FCAT and flourishing in her 5th grade class at Montclair Elementary. Between caring for her younger siblings and completing all of her school assignments, Destiny still finds time to come in on Saturdays and help her underclassmen with writing. She is truly an inspirational student and does whatever is asked of her with a smile and a positive attitude. I present to you Destiny Brown.
I'm not Edwina Williams. I'm Donna Hatley teacher. I'm not sure where she is, so I'm standing in. I'm not the public speaker, so I'm not going to do Anthony the justice he actually deserves. Anthony works hard every day. He's struggled with academics for years. He puts his all into everything that he does. A lot of his success has come from the strong family that he comes from, very strong, supportive family. Good, positive attitude, role model for every student in my classroom, always willing to help, always has encouraging words and tutors students who he can tutor, and that's Anthony.
I want you to take a look at this girl because you're going to see her in the future. She is exceptional, and I was very honored to find out that she would be in my classroom this year because her reputation precedes her. But then I got a little panicked, and the first couple of weeks I tortured this child because she has type 1 diabetes, and I had not had a kid that was on an insulin pump before. And so every few minutes I'm like, test. And she's looking at me going, I'm good. And so after a few weeks, she had a day where she's low. Her parents get up and check her blood sugar all through the night, so she's woken up all night long. And so after a few weeks, she had one of her days, and she bottomed out, and I had special training and have a little lock box with the glycagon shot. I know that's scary that I have that, but anyway, I was sitting there with the little lock box going, oh, and she said, you're going to be okay, you can do this. and after that, I mean, she is so calming, but what's remarkable about her is her attitude. And being a 5th grader, as you can imagine, not all children are nice to you when there's something that you get to do or have that they don't. And part of her, what she has to eat at a regular basis. And so, of course, being a 5th grader, they're ready for a snack too, and they're ready for a juice too. And so after a few weeks, and there's a little bit of, oh, she's getting to eat again and that, I talked to her and I said, would you like to talk to your classmates? And she is such a good speaker and advocate for her disease. And she got up and she talked to them about what it was like to have diabetes, and she educated us on her disease. But what's remarkable is not only does she do that at school, she raises funds during the year for other kids to go to a camp for diabetes that she gets to go to. And she told me she wished my son could go because it's the best camp she's ever been to. Tell me the name of your camp.
Camp Seal Harris.
Camp Seal Harris. And I wanted to correct one thing. I won't keep talking. I could just go on. She is not just the all-county chorus singer. She is all-state. She is one of 2 kids from the district of Escambia County District to be an all-county or all-state chorus member. She is not bashful normally, and she is a wonderful singer and public speaker, and she does speak at fundraisers for diabetes. However, today I asked her, would you like to say something or would you like to sing? And she said, oh no, this is on TV. I don't do it on TV yet. But anyway, Miss Lorna McClendon.
Aiden Freeman, and he's a 3rd grader at Navy Point Elementary. His personality is as bright as his shirt. He came into my class at the beginning of the year ready to go. He's ready to learn every single day. He had to stay in my class for a while because we didn't get records for him to be able to get the resources that he needed. But he was right there with all the kids, doing his best all the time. He's always glad to help others. He'll be the first one to jump up to do anything that's going to help anybody all the time. My first 9 weeks, he was my only student in a regular classroom to have made his AR goal. And in that first 9 weeks, Aiden raised his reading level by 3 years. And Aiden also has had to overcome having moved from Atlanta and lost his father a few years ago. So I'm very happy to present my hero, Aiden Freeman.
I'm actually Isaiah's counselor, and one of the great things about Isaiah, that as a counselor, one of my jobs is to help kids learn how to be positive in the face of adversity. I have never had to talk to him about being positive. This is a student that every day comes to school, despite having multiple issues medically at school. Isaiah struggles with muscular dystrophy, scoliosis, a heart condition, and many other things. He's always a positive influence in the hallway. His parents, Liddell and Betsy, have raised a very wonderful, sweet-spirited child that we're thankful to have in Northview. Despite being very, very shy and quiet, Isaiah has a great number of friends at school because they recognize in him a great listener, a great friend who gives great advice, and he's a very mature student. He's one of my rising seniors, and he will graduate on time next year. He currently has a 2.45 GPA, and he's in all regular classes, which is a testament to his hard work ethic that he's gotten. I'd also like to thank Ms. Sue Hopkins, who's his aide that's with us today, for being one of the reasons why Isaiah does so well at school. He knows that he has help at school from the adults and his peers around him. Isaiah believes a lot in building up a person's spirit because he says that building a person up helps them to become the person they want to be. So I want to thank Isaiah personally for helping all of us at Northview become better people because of your example. I present to you Isaiah Williams, Northview High School's Cox Hero. Well, let me tell you, he's never late for class. He does not drive this slow in the hallway.
This is the hero for O.J. Sims Elementary, Philip Strawn. He's a 4th grader at O.J. Sims, and he doesn't let academic difficulties define him. He has excellent work ethic and works hard to improve his math skills. He takes responsibility for himself and his schoolwork. Philip's ability to always see the positive side of situations attributes to his winning personality and good citizenship grades. In addition to working hard, Philip also goes the extra mile to help others in his classes. He compliments others and always has a smile on his face, except for now. There you go. If someone is having a bad day, Philip will put his arm around them and tell them everything is going to be okay. He's a caring and helpful young man. I present O.J. Sims, Cox Hero, Philip Strong.
Good afternoon. I'd like to introduce you to Milana Jackson from Oakcrest Elementary. Milana is an inspiration to all who know her. She shows extraordinary strength and tenacity daily. She comes prepared and excited for what life has in store. Milana willingly shares her knowledge with her classmates, and she is quick to assist others with questions or problems. She performs all her work, whether library helper or WOAK news anchor, efficiently and completely. She has a great sense of humor that brightens her classes. Milana's whole attitude about school, her future, her dreams and ambitions is infectiously joyful. She sees no obstacle that would keep her from attaining all her goals. So I'm proud to present to you Milana Jackson.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for making this possible. I would like to thank the school board and superintendent for being in support of this. Trust is a very important thing, and 457 days ago, someone came up to me and said, "Coach, I need to raise some money." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "To get my father out of jail." Within a week, the father did get out of jail, and they got evicted from their home. And I asked that the father let Michael come spend the night so that the father could find housing. And the father did not get back in touch with me for about a month. But on the fourth day, I knew that this was going to be my son. Michael's a light to everybody around him. He's a clown. He plays. But his mission in life is to lift everyone else's spirits. And I'm an emotional person, and Michael is almost incapable of crying because of what he's been through. But we were listening to some motivational speeches of football players, football coaches, things from movies one day. And I saw this half a tear come down, it wasn't even enough to fall. And I reached out and I grabbed it and I swallowed it and I said, "Now you're part of me." Michael's mother abandoned him on the day he was born, went back to her crack cocaine lifestyle. His father's been in and out of prison. Michael spent over half of his life in foster care. Although I went to the school to become a foster parent, the father refused to sign the papers to allow me to. I'm proud to announce that on August 29th, Michael will be 18, and I will adopt him as an adult. A year ago, I wrote a note to my son saying that He was my hero. It's ironic that this came up because I knew nothing of this program. And from that, I want to say to you, son, I can truly say that I empathize with your many struggles, and I admire you for your strength and courage. I admire you for your resilience, your perseverance. I admire also your ability to always look upon the brighter side of all situations. You've already developed the worldly skills that will set for you a destiny of success and opulence. You have truly become a man before your time. I could have never survived what you went through. He was beaten. His father boxed and did karate and taekwondo. And when I look at this child, I see someone this tall, not someone this tall. You've made my life so much better, and I admire you.
Good afternoon. It's a shame that didn't happen when Mr. Shackle was up here. I am the proud principal of Pine Forest High School, and on behalf of our administration, our faculty, staff, and student body, it's our pleasure to introduce to you our Cox Hero Award winner, Kylie Vallon. Kylie is an outstanding young lady who's been in attendance at Pine Forest for the past 4 years, and it's truly going to be an honor to see her walk across the stage on June the 4th with the rest of her classmates. She has demonstrated a tremendous amount of growth, especially in the area of reading and mathematics, and has become quite the social butterfly among her classmates. But I think what we're going to miss the most about Kylie is her leadership within her classroom. It has truly grown over the last 4 years. And if I could ask her parents and grandmother to please stand to be recognized, this is the reason they do, that she is as well adapted as she is. So Kylie Vallon, Pine Forest High School's Cox Hero Award winner. Thank you.
Yash Patel is a student who inspires his peers as well as his teachers because he has such a positive attitude about life. Yash came to our school 3 years ago and has been a part of the exceptional student education process. He's grown from a shy, insecure student that would not speak out to a self-confident young man that enjoys participating in class activities and discussions. He's always the first to step up to help others. Yash has a never-give-up attitude and shows a lot of integrity. You can always depend on him to be truthful and dependable. He puts a lot of effort and pride into finishing a task. He always takes initiative and never complains. Yash has had excellent academic success in that he is now working on grade level in all subjects. He's achieved this success because he's willing to put the effort and time necessary in to accomplish this goal. Yash is willing to help his peers. Through his overcoming his own personal limitations, he is now more than willing to encourage his peers to step up and participate. Yash's accomplishments serve as an inspiration to all of us. Through his actions, he's shown his peers and teachers that you can achieve anything as long as you give your all. Pine Meadow Elementary is proud to have Yash Patel as our hero.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to introduce Julie Wakefield, Pleasant Grove Elementary's Inspirational Student Hero. Julie could be our hero for many reasons, but the most important reasons are her motivating attitude and her positive outlook on life. Looking at Julie, one would not be able to understand how much difficulty she has had these past few years. Julie is the oldest of 3 in her immediate family, her immediate blended family, and she takes her role as big sister very seriously. Her 5-year-old sister has serious medical issues that causes her to spend many days at the hospital, many hours in doctor's offices, and many weeks waiting for treatment results. I'm sure you can imagine the fears that a 3, 4, or 5-year-old would have after going through these procedures. And I'm sure you can also imagine the questions that a 5-year-old sister would have that only a big sister could answer, and the fears that she might have that only a big sister could alleviate. At the beginning of the year, Julie experienced a house fire where she lost all her toys, her clothes, her house. A few months later, her stepfather was deployed to Afghanistan. Many would think that Julie had the right to be angry or sullen, but looking at those big brown eyes and beautiful smile, you can tell that this isn't the case. She has learned to look at her problems with a different perspective. Instead of being depressed or anxious, she's learned how to take lemons and make lemonade. Julie has started her own line of motivational cards. She can frequently be seen handing these cards out to students who are having bad days, tough weeks, or just upset. Her sense of survival has taught us not only how to make lemonade out of our lemons, but to change our perspective. And if we, as adults, have difficulty making that lemonade, Julie has a card for that too. I'm proud to present Julie Wakefield, Pleasant Grove Elementary's Inspirational Student.
You know why Josh was selected as our inspirational hero. There is not much that stops Joshua. It is such an honor to be here. Wow, this has been an amazing evening. I think I've cried more tonight than I have in ages. Josh has just overcome so much in his life. He started the first 42 days of his life in a NICU unit and has gone through multiple surgeries and difficult medical situations. However, this young man never gives up. He never stops. There is nothing that I ask him to do that he does not rise to the occasion and excel at. This is the first year that Joshua has written, and he practices, and he writes legibly now. He practices everything. And I think that if we could get just a small fraction of that kind of tenacity in every student that we touched, this world would be on fire. It would be so amazing. Josh not only excels academically, but he is quite an interesting character, very positive encourager, always looking at students who might be making a bad choice and going, hey, come on, you can do it. Let's just get it going. And he's always lifting other people up. One of the things that cracks us up at school a lot is when he starts singing oldies music. And he'll get started, and then Miss Petrella, his aide, will start in with him, and then I'll start in, and then all the kids will start in, and before you know it, there is laughter and joy in a classroom that is hard. It is hard. And so it is with great honor that I present Josh. When I presented his name before the committee, it was unanimous. All the rest of the names went down. It was definitely Josh Parr. So.
Thank you for all the teachers, all the parents that have been here. I would totally like to thank Papa and my parents. Thank you for that. I would like to thank all the other people. Y'all have been so good. And I especially thank you, Miss Walter. Come on, my boy.
I'd like to introduce my friend Brittany Greason, and she is a bright, shining star at Ransom Middle School. If you're looking for a ray of sunshine, look no further than Brittany Greason. As a 7th grader at Ransom Middle School, Brittany has scheduled a full-time inclusion classes, but school wasn't always so easy for Brittany. Having cerebral palsy since birth, she battles poor eyesight and often didn't want to even come to school. After coming into terms with her medical conditions, Brittany began to look at the brighter side of life. She turned her life around by attending school daily, reaching out to other students, and making new friends. She is no longer willing to stay at home and hide from the world, and her happiness and success have spread to those around her. She even helps others in the classroom complete assignments when she's done. Brittany inspires those around her daily to reach beyond their comfort zone and find the real pleasures in life. I'd like to introduce to you Brittany Greason, Inspirational Cox Hero from Ransom Middle.
Antoinette is known as Nettie by her classmates. I'm more nervous than her, I think. She doesn't believe that, but I am. Nettie is an inspiration to both the staff and her peers at Scenic Heights. Despite facing medical and learning challenges as a young child, Nettie has not only survived, she has thrived. Nettie always has a positive outlook and a big smile to brighten your day. She gives 100% effort 100% of the time. In addition to her can-do attitude and her sunny disposition, Nettie has a generous spirit and is one of the most compassionate children I have ever met. She's a friend to everyone and loves to help others in any way that she can. I asked some of her classmates today if they could describe her with 1 or 2 words, what they would say. And here's what they said. Nettie tries hard. Nettie is kind. Nettie is a friend. Nettie is sweet. Nettie's cool. Nettie smiles a lot. And the one to sum it all up, Nettie is just awesome. I feel it is a blessing to have known and worked with Nettie.
Deja is a blessing to Sherwood. Over the summer, he was hospitalized with a staph infection. During his stay in the hospital, he had several surgeries and was hooked up to numerous machines. While visiting him to introduce me to him, he kept asking for his 2nd grade teacher, Miss Roberts, who was in the room at the time, and you could just make out that he wanted to go back to school. Now we can't get him to stop talking. That's how much this child loves school. After months in the hospital, he was able to return back to school, ready to learn and inspire others. After just a few weeks, his fragile arm was not ready for the rigor of school. He broke his arm by taking a simple reading test. He told his family, I received a text that night that I'll be back on Monday. He ended up needing 11 weeks of physical therapy and recovery time to return back to school. He returned raring to go in January, truly wanting to learn. He was since told others how life is a blessing. When he returned back to school, the class was like, you were so lucky. You got to go be off for 11 weeks. You got to watch TV. And he's like, I had 1 day of school. I had 1 hour of school. I need to be back. I need to learn. You need to teach me. Am I right? And he would take stuff home, and he would bring it home right before the FCAT, which he's a 3rd grader, and right before the FCAT, first time this child's ever taking, he asked for the rest of the book of what he missed, and he actually took out the mid-chapter test out of the book and the chapter test and did that and said, did you grade it yet, Miss Smith? Did you grade it? I want to see how I did. I want to be ready. This is Sherwood's inspirational hero, Deja Travis.
Jadeja came to Warrington a timid, shy, and introverted girl. She has blossomed into a welcoming, friendly, and confident young lady. Jadeja is also a motivated student, staying on AB honor roll and excelling in mathematics. When something is difficult, Jadeja rises to the task and brings the dedication needed to complete each assignment. As a matter of fact, Jadeja scored one of the highest scores on the district science assessment at our school. Coming out of her shell has allowed Jadeja to help her peers, encouraging them to do their best in all areas. She's always ready to assist others with academic tasks and problems. Jadeja's open heart and interaction with her peers inspires and motivates them to make positive choices and achieve academic success. Jadeja Young.
It is an honor and a pleasure to introduce our Cox's Inspirational Student Hero for 2013. Our hero is Jolia Williams. She is completing her 3rd year at Warrington Middle School this year. I have enjoyed having Jolia her 8th grade year. She is a member of the Engineering Academy and also the academy that I oversee, which is Microsoft IT Academy. Throughout this year, she has exemplified all the characteristics of a great model student. She's very conscientious, attentive, punctual, and has also faced few obstacles in her personal life, but that has not made her unfocused academically. All her teachers agree that she is a pleasure and an asset to have in their classroom. She completes all her assignments on time. She's very respectful, very polite, and she has all A's in her classes. She is an asset, again, to every teacher. Jolia, from Warrington Middle School staff, we hope you achieve all your goals. And on behalf of the staff, again, it's a pleasure working with you at Warrington Middle School. Congratulations, you represent Warrington well. Way to go, and we love you.
This is Victor Knoll. He's a senior at Washington High School. He is definitely a bright spot in everybody's day. He is welcoming, warm, and sweet-spirited. His smile and good sense of humor are contagious. He is very positive and cheerful, and his attitude helps everyone have a better day. Victor is very literal and loves to joke. He is very well liked and accepted by the entire student body at Washington. We had a pep rally where the students could volunteer to shoot a basketball. Victor volunteered in front of the whole student body and was cheered on by the entire school. He was voted Student of the Month last year also. Victor has excelled academically, emotionally, and socially. He takes his responsibilities very seriously and has been a great success at all jobs he has been assigned to through the OJT program. He gets along well with his coworkers and takes a leadership role when asked to do so. Victor has overcome both social and academic barriers. He handles situational changes with maturity now. He has adapted to changes which once would have caused him a lot of frustration. Every moment of his day is important. He sees the bright side of everything. Victor is always willing to help others. He follows directions. He does anything you ask him to do. Several times this year, he has helped his fellow students when they are having a hard time with certain issues. He reminds them to act like a teenager, meaning to act more mature. He has shown patience and understanding when working with other students as well as his teachers that need more instruction and assistance with their job duties. Victor is a great role model, and for everyone he comes in contact with, and that is why he is our hero.
Good afternoon. Standing here today is a little funny. We were just actually making a joke about it. One of my fondest memories of Josh is when he actually gave a speech, and it was to me. I taught Josh in English 1 honors, and at West Florida High School, it's a rite of passage for all the freshmen to read Romeo and Juliet and then do a major project. Well, Josh chose to rewrite the ending of the play, and now the timeless tragedy was a happy ending, and we threw Romeo and Juliet, no longer a starstruck couple, but a happy couple, and we threw them a wedding reception. Well, Josh had to give his best man speech, and at the end of his best man speech, he had the entire class, he planned it with them to turn to me, and they raised their glasses of grape juice, and he toasted me and thanked me for teaching them that year. So even then, it was his kind heart that was evident. Ironically, now after his 4 years at school, it is he who has taught me many lessons. Josh became sick on a field trip to UWF his junior year of high school. Before we knew it, he was in Gainesville in total heart failure. Then he had a Berlin heart as we all waited. And then in July, I got to call and thank him and his mom for the best birthday present, because it was on that day that he got a heart transplant and began his road to recovery. We have a little bet that I'm not going to cry, so I'm going to win. So here we go. Just in time for him to be announced homecoming king this year, Josh returned to school. King Iron Man, as he was dubbed, right? Began making up the second semester of his junior year while beginning his senior year. He has taken on a heavy course load, and he has worked really hard to become a high school graduate. He is a symbol of strength, courage, and resilience on our campus, and he inspires not only me, but everyone, each and every day. At too young of an age, Josh learned how fragile our existence is and how essential faith is each and every day. But he's also taught all of us at West Florida High School one very important lesson that can be seen on the students' wrists. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Thank you, Josh.
Good evening. It is a pleasure to be here this evening on behalf of my principal, Mrs. Sabrina Cunningham, and Mrs. McGee, our assistant principal. It is an honor to name Dylan Fountain as our hero. What could I say about Dylan that it's not already been said about every hero here this evening? Also, Dylan, when he had a difficult time when he was transitioning from kindergarten to first grade and refused to work at first. And he was testing me in every possible way. He's like, when do we do circle time? When do we going to be doing drawing? I says, well, in first grade we have to do a lot more work. And he fought me the first few weeks. But after that we worked together. He worked very, very hard. He's brilliant in mathematics. Now he's the assistant teacher and helps students in my class to do their math problems. And he goes around. I can't give him enough challenging work. He doesn't give anybody a chance to answer questions. Me. And I says, Dylan, please raise a quiet hand. And he finishes his work and quickly. And he goes around checking other people's work. And he goes, no, you need to look at that problem again. Okay? Right? So I am just so proud of him. We all are very, very proud of him. And everybody loves him at our class, at our school. And he's come a long way. And he's going to go to a long way. Thank you.
Last but certainly not least, or the best for last, either way, most of us don't think of a young person having a stroke. We attribute that to older people. Tyquirian here in the 6th grade while attending Brown Barge had a stroke practicing on the track. She then went to hospital homebound and came to Woodham Middle School. We are very glad to have her bright smiling face. She has had to learn to walk, read, write, math, everything all over again. She is motivated and believes in never giving up, and that is what she tells her classmates every day, never give up. Woodham Middle School presents to you Tyquirian Boggs as our inspirational hero.
Thanks for watching the Cox Inspirational Student Heroes Award celebration. From all of us at Cox, thanks for watching.